Hit him with that one punch like 100 shots for a hater, fist of the north side. Got a whole team of extraordinaries, we ready? Hit him with that one punch like 100 shots for a hater, fist of the north side. Got a whole team of extraordinaries, we ready?
Yeah. I might be nerdy, but watch me spin your block. Cause I'm thuggin', homie. Call me Tanjiro of that ghetto. I keep that demon on me. Got 3 girlfriends. Understand they do the killing for me. Main girl, got a hand up pearl, that full metal show. You already know, you said you won't smoke. Don't just blow and choke, we heavy, bro. Come and reap his soul like I'm Ichigo. Vicious flow, I guess I son these niggas. Call me Piccolo. Do them dirty, shoot these guns like I'm Luffy. Hell, quick as a flash. Play grown-man games, you in a body bag. Shit rough around my hood. Live or die, United States of smash. Comes at you fast. Your folks ain't care till I put on the mask. You want it in my blood war, my nigga, we gon' end this fast.
Hit him with that one punch like 100 shots for a hater, fist of the north side. Got a whole team of extraordinaries, we ready? Hit him with that one punch like 100 shots for a hater, fist of the north side. Got a whole team of extraordinaries, we ready?
Yes, definitely. What up, everybody? It's your boy Bacardi Sensei. On this episode of Geek, I am off location from the studio, and I'm in somebody else's geek space. It's also their workspace. You may have seen him already hang with us as we've been putting together this Black Geek documentary. He's a really good friend of mine, so I want you guys to know who he is as well. And without further ado, I will let him introduce himself. Tell everybody who you are, my guy.
What up, everybody? It's your boy King, aka MJ, owner of King's Barber and Beauty and King Media Group. Who bring services to the Geekset in many ways, you know.
A man of many talents, So as I said, I wanted to have this interview with you because, like I said, you know, you're a close friend of mine. We met through mutual friends. Shout out to Chuck. You know what I'm saying? Through barbershop talk, through just normal conversations. And for me personally, I got to kind of, like, being from just someone who's seeing you every time we come to the barbershop, kind of saw you kind of grow into this kind of workspace that you have. And, you know, this wasn't even your first shop. So it's like to kind of see where you've come from and getting to know you more. We definitely have, you know, kind of created this bond, especially over anime, geek stuff. And for me, you know, I think it's really kind of rare to even find new geek friends out in the open. So that was really why I feel like people needed to know who you are, kind of know what you was doing. So I really want people to kind of like just learn your story of even how you got here and how we all rocking Geekset right now.
Yeah. I mean, I think it all came literally from, like, you know, just collaborating on just ideas in the shop. So like shop talk, shop conversation. I know, like, before, when you were coming through, you know what I'm saying, you was getting cut by Chuck. It was like right before the pandemic, we would come in and talk about movies, talk about different shows. And when I started listening to the podcast, because Chuck would low-key put me on, like, man, you got to listen to the podcast because, you know what I'm saying, they be talking about the same stuff you talk about, but he knew, like, what I would watch when clients weren't around, or he knew, like, oh, y'all keep up on all the cartoons, the animes, or different, you know, comic books. So he was like, yeah, y'all would fit right in. And it was kind of like, you know, fate, because after, like, when COVID hit, like, Chuck stopped cutting, you know what I'm saying, and then, like, we had to move the shop. It was like, all right, well, I think you reached out, like, man, I just need to cut.
Right.
Like, I just need to cut.
Right.
You one of the only dudes I know that I don't really know nobody else in the shop like that. And I was just like, all right, you know, let's do it. So
right.
It kind of worked out. Then from there, you know, we just been making history. You know?
Right, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. And that's what I said, like, it was definitely, like, you know, swapping over and even coming, which is, you know, y'all feel like people say that's, like, blasphemy anyway. So, you know, sorry, Chuck, you were still my nigga. I fuck with you to day one. You know what I'm saying? You still day one. You know what I'm saying? That's always going to be my day one. But, you know, like I said, once we started cutting that, but it did, we started bonding more. We was able to talk more about animes and about the podcast in general and stuff we doing. Like, it was, for me personally, like I said, I still try to get used to people who now, like whether if he come from the podcast or whatever, who now starts to like, have those conversations with me. Because, when it comes to most anime and geek stuff, we usually tend to keep that stuff to ourselves. So it's like, to start building more communities and finding more people to like branch into that is like a really great thing.
Yeah, and it definitely was part of that. It was definitely part of that.
So I'm like, like I said, one of my things that I actually enjoy because I'm a collector of pops myself. So for me to come into a barbershop, and like I said, we're at the new shop, but you was already collecting at the old shop. So to kind of come in for me and kind of see like this kind of setup and being able to ask about pops and where you get this one from, or even having somebody like, damn, I ain't got this. Like I feel like I've never had that in a, this is more when it comes to a barbershop. We've always remember this the old school setting. Mm-hmm. So I think for a person like me, this is like a safe haven in the sense to be like a home away from home, to be like I can still come to another spot that's like a comfort place for me and has all of my geek surroundings. So it's like I definitely wanted to ask like what made you get you into this point of like decorating the shop like this?
So initially, like I said, my first shop that you brought up, I was downtown. I wanted more professional, traditional look, and at the time I was moonlighting as a security guard. So at the bar that I worked at, they had a skee ball tournament, and this was in a period of my life where I was growing, and I was like the movie Yes Man. Just I'm gonna say yes to everything. So he asked me, "Hey man, you ever play skee ball?" I'm like, "Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese." He's like, "Well, get in the tournament for me, man." Shout out to my guy Justin, because he started something that like grew into what it is now, where I went from sports memorabilia, general stuff that
general
barbershop stuff. And he gave me my first pop, which was the Stormtrooper, the little winter Stormtrooper up here, right?
Yeah, I see, yeah.
So this one, the first order Stormtrooper, my bad. So he, I won the tournament, he gave it to me, and I had never even heard of pops at all.
Really?
At all. At the time, it was probably 2014, 2015 maybe.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
So they were kind of new, but like, it was still a little cult following of them. And what it did was it just sparked my interest back into Star Wars. So then I started hunting down Star Wars. Then I started seeing the Dragon Ball series. Mm-hmm. So then a little boy had gave me a Super Saiyan Goku. It was out the pack, everything. I was like, you know what? Because he saw my Star Wars pops growing, he was like, I want you to have this pop because I know every time I come back, you'll take care of it. I was like, oh, that's dope. I don't even know what that pop is.
You don't know what, I mean, it was out the box.
It was out the box.
It was out the
box.
box.
He was already free roaming, so.
Right.
That's what kind of elevated it to the point, because like you said, people come in, they wanted to ask where I got it from. Oh, man, when did you gonna get this one?
Yeah, like I said, I think it's great water cooler talk. Like, it's like, you're gonna spend, even if you don't say nothing to nobody, you would spend more time. It's eye candy for any adult.
And it's great for the kids. It's great for people who are movie or anime buffs. So they gravitated towards it, and they kind of, identified the pops with me and my, like, lust for movies. Like, so.
You're right, yeah. So now, with this setup though, so if you had to give yourself a label as a geek of like what kind of geek you are in this in the age you is now, I definitely like to ask people now because I feel like at our age we tend to not use that word. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And we realize that we've actually in some way have been that word all our lives. You know what I'm saying? And so if you had to label yourself as a geek, what would you think would be your geek?
I would say probably movies and like TV.
TV?
I would definitely say in those two realms. Like, I became more of a movie geek, showing my age in the Blockbuster days, where every Friday, moms would take us there. We get movies for the weekend and movies for the week. So I'd be the one picking 7, 8 movies. Where everybody else only got one, and she would be like, after a while, telling me, "No, you got to put back a couple."
Yeah.
She just started getting them for me, because she's like, "Well, when you at home during the week, you stay on there, you watch these movies, and I'm watching movies over and over again, missing spot. Okay, I got to watch it again." So now that I'm older, like the streaming services and all that stuff, that was like an immediate thing for me. Like,
so you can it's at your fingertips
all day, and really. Is what kind of gravitated back, pushed me back into the world of barbering. because I remember watching like my first movie in the barbershop.
Really?
It was Tremors.
Tremors in the barbershop?
Tremors in the barbershop.
Was it bootleg?
Nope. It was on a movie. It was like VHS. You know, well, it might have been recorded. It might have been screen recorded. But either way, it was in the barbershop. And it was playing on all the TVs. And I was geeked because I'm like,
hey,
Mom's wasn't letting us watch none of that. Like,
right, yeah.
None of the crazy stuff. And it opened the door for her because she like, oh, okay. They ain't gonna just have nightmares and, you know.
Yeah, because you got to tell her, like, oh, we was watching Tremors. So what is that? Now you like, she like, why y'all watch? You know, but
oh, yeah. No, she left because of it. I still remember to this day. It was me and my two other brothers. And we sitting there watching them. I'm in the movie. And she like, I'll be back. You know what I mean? We didn't live too far from there, so it was easy for her to just like leave her 3 boys there. And everybody knew who we were. So yeah, that's what put me in this realm of like, I got to get back into the barbershop because I knew I had so much movie knowledge.
Right. So you really feel like you're a big movie buff in this, like like, I mean, is your range? Do you have a specific genre? Or do you think you have a really wide range?
I think I have a pretty wide range because I'm not afraid to watch, you know, an artsy movie, or like my method of picking a movie nowadays is just to press play.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't look too deep into it. I don't want to watch the trailers too many times. A lot of times I just want to see what the cover art is, read the synopsis. If it sounds okay, let's just watch it.
You going for it?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like every movie buffs is really, because movies go so far, like, you know, years and years ago, and there's so many ranges of movies and types of movies you can watch, that being a buff in that's definitely, you always gonna have some good what you want to call them, sleeper hits.
Oh, definitely.
That you can give somebody.
And that's the thing, is like, I feel like a lot of people, you know, when I first initially started getting into playing movies in the shop, they wanted to go, oh man, who's this director? I don't care about none of that. None of that. Because you can have a great director that did one movie, and then his next 2 movies are so, you know, all over the place that you really can't gauge it.
Right.
So,
right.
You know, and I said I do want to get into that world of, like, learning more about the movies that I do like, because eventually I want to make a movie. But I also think that goes just along with studying the craft.
So before... let's skip ahead a little bit. Let's get back a little bit. You know, from the barbershop. What were you actually doing? Just a little bit of story about you before you actually jumped in. Because how long have you been barbering now?
I've been barbering 18 years. 18
years. So, I mean, it's wild to think what you were doing 18 years ago. But what was the flip? Like what you was doing before they kind of put you like I'm gonna go straight into barbering.
I was working at a factory, man. I was working at a factory doing sanitation, you know, and I loved it because I was always, you know, a very cleanly, orderly person. So getting into sanitation was perfect, but it was very boring. And I moonlighted as a barber forever. So like, I always would work, you know, a 3rd shift job, something like that. 1st shift I'm cutting, or 2nd shift I'm cutting, and then I'll go into that job. Like, I always had a routine, but I never took cutting serious until, like, I just saw the freedom one day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I saw barber, like the owner of the shop, he was always in and out. Oh man, the shoes drop, he ain't coming in till 2 o'clock.
Till he got the shoes.
Yeah, he got
just to show the shoes. I'm gonna show you.
That's it. He might cut one head and then he out. So I started realizing, you know, like, my time management was all over the place because at the time I was starting a family. Like I said, I was working a factory gig, but I would always have something going on. And then my heart was like, nah, bro, you got to step back because you tripping. Like, can you do this for the next 25 years? And I just couldn't. So, like, I want to say this was like 10 years ago. I was working at a shop on 2nd and North Avenue in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is fairly hood. And I think I was trying to leave and there was a shooting.
Okay.
So,
like, you leaving the shop?
I'm leaving the shop, but there was a shooting a block away. So I couldn't get out because they had it taped off one way and traffic was just going crazy to go another way.
Right.
And they U-turning people right here. So I'm like, you know what? I need a better place. And the shop owner was like, bro, just don't get your own shop. Like, he didn't say it in a mean way. He didn't say it like, I'm tired of you.
Yeah.
You need your own shop. He was like, nah, bro, you good enough. you good enough. And he knew like my dream at the time, like get myself squared away, have my own one day, because I never did want to own a shop.
Okay.
But talking with him, he like, you could.
You really could do this.
So I talked to my moms, I talked to my girl. Both of them gave me like $500. And that was enough for my first rent and security. I got some chairs and stuff off Craigslist.
$1,000 in a dream?
$1,000 in a dream. That's how my shop dreams. And 10 years later, I'm here. And I've been serving the community ever since.
So it's 10 years in the shop. 18 years barber.
No, 18 years in the shop.
18 years. Oh, yeah.
I was in other people's shop.
Yeah.
But owning a shop, 10 years owning.
Wow.
Yeah, this year.
So you've definitely barbered pretty much longer than really anything you've ever done.
Oh, yeah. This is the longest job I ever had. I tell people all the time. This is everything else, even the Army. Like, I did my stint in the Army.
Yeah.
I'm good.
That's actually something I didn't know. I don't know if I never just realized it. I didn't know. I definitely know it was, about 10 years or something that you were barber. But I didn't know it was damn near 20 years that you've been cutting head. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's wild business. You know what I'm saying? So that's actually really good.
Thank you, sir.
I commend you for that. Okay. And then now we're 18 years in the barber game. Like I said, I've known you now, I think we were on about 5 years, maybe 5 years. So half of your time owning your business. And, what we would say maybe 2-3 years ago is when you started pretty much a new expansion from barbering, from barbering?
Probably 3 or 4, because I did photography first before I got into the videography and doing anything else.
Okay. So tell me about that. Like, I feel like you say the story of becoming a barber, but that's the dream, and you're doing it now, and it's like a new dream came.
So it started with the podcast. So I have a podcast, The Session.
Okay.
And The Session was it was a thought process of after work conversation about whatever. Most times for me, it would be movies or just,
whatever's on your
randoms
mind.
on the mind after work, and that led to movie reviews, which led to the video, like the lust to record.
To record.
So initially it was just all audio, and then I bought a camera for photography, but also to figure out the video part. But as I figured out the video, it became more and more interesting. Like, oh, okay, I wonder what I can do, what I can really create out of this. And so a year into it, I think I just was like, you know what, I think I'm there enough, because the photography I had already indulged in. Like, that was some stuff from high school and in my 20s. But then as I got more into the videography, I'm like, yeah, I really like this. Because when I was young, I always wanted to be a cameraman.
Okay,
so I wanted to be the Arsenio Hall cameraman.
What you mean?
Remember the guy that they always pointed to, and he was in the crowd, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the one Arsenio shout out to, like, that's my guy right there.
That's my guy Steve. He been on the camera, maybe blah blah blah. Like, that was like my dream. Like, bro, you see how cold that is? Like,
they had them big old cameras.
Yeah, and they ain't do nothing. All you saw was turn the little wheel.
You gotta keep as long as you keep the star in a good spot, man.
You good. So, and that's why I thought, was gonna be an easy career choice. So then when I realized the intricacies of it, it made me more like driven to do this with a smaller scale. And I feel like that was like the beginning of it. Like, that was the true beginning of the King Media Group, for me. Because it was like, I had did a couple photo shoots already. I had already kind of been in this frame of like going professional with the camera work. And then like meeting y'all, getting on, with you guys at Geekset, and y'all actually been like, we got work. Like,
right.
We out here, so be prepared. It was like the best experience that I could ever ask for, because again, working with other people in the same field, out in the world, doing like these conventions was like an eye opener.
Yeah.
You think you're not ready, but it's some person over here with half of what you got and a little bit more knowledge that's killing you.
Yeah.
So just grow in grow in the knowledge, and eventually you'll get better. And I think that's where I'm at now.
That's good. And I was going to ask that because I was going to say was like even in this step, 'cause like I said, you've been barbering for 18 years. So it's like, was this step into photography and videography like a already skill set that you just kind of kept to the bottom or whatever? But like you said, you were doing photography, high school kind of thing. So you've already understood the life behind a camera. And in a way that you were like, now that you're older, you're just like, I got the bread to buy it now. Yeah, I can buy a camera.
That's what it really was. You got the money to indulge these dreams, and you willing to do it.
Yeah.
That was like one of the things about it that I guess at the time of COVID, like we all kind of sat down, but I was able to still kind of cut, when I could.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was like, I'm not doing nothing else. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not going out. We're not eating out. We cooking every day. So if I had to spare some spare money, go get a camera, go get the laptop, go get the filters, go get the software. Like, and that was like my thing too. Was like I think showing my kids how to build another business inside of a business.
Okay, I can see that.
They always thought like, well, you just cut hair, and I'm like, no, I do a lot of other stuff. I just never promote it.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this was my like outreach to the world of like change that idea. Don't just be a secret photographer. Don't just be, oh yeah, I'm gonna take really good pictures of my clients after the haircut. No, take really good pictures of your clients for headshots or for prom or for weddings, and it literally grew from that. Like cell phone photos of my clients to now I need to go get this new camera.
Put a backdrop behind you.
Put a backdrop behind you. Get some effects going. Get some lights.
Right.
All of that stuff it started from just taking pictures of my clients.
So do you feel that if you had to gauge like what was the thing you probably did that would solidify like this is the angle I want to go, this is the direction I want to go, this is something I want to pursue, would that been buying the camera, or would you think it was like was the camera still like okay, but when you really bought something else he was like I am serious now?
I think it was it might have been like beefing up the camera, because the camera was bought like I said initially just for like podcast video and just home photography stuff.
Right.
But then as like, I want to say maybe the first trip to C2E2 that I took with y'all. And I was like, you know what? I need to get a cage for my camera. I need to get a stabilizer for my camera. I need to get new microphones for the camera. And as I grew in that world, it was like, all right, this is what I want to do. And then it was funny because going to DreamCon and working with Carl Jones and like, we had to set up.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, ready. It felt so much more legit that it was like, all right, this is it.
I can see
this
that.
is a world I'm in and I want to progress in. Because I was prepared.
Because you was prepared for it. I like that. Because I mean, because you wouldn't know really why. Like you said, you did those visuals for the first trip, and you're like, I just need to buy this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like when a major thing happens, it's like I'm already ready for it. And it's like this was what I was. This is really was what it was for.
That's what every other trip was for. Was to grow in what I'm doing and learn from any mistakes, learn from any experiences where you like look back at footage and go, "Oh, I wish I would have did this."
Right.
No. Now I'm here and I'm done wishing. So we just gonna do it the right way.
So I mean, and as we get into just as you talk about some hurdles or just things like that, I actually want to talk first about in your path of joining us with Geekset and stuff we're doing, or just in your own endeavors, like I said with King Media Group. Have you said you faced some? I want to know about your wins first. So did you say you have like some of your small wins or some big wins that you think you've gotten from this experience?
I think first getting a credit, IMDb credit for the documentary, for the Black Geek documentary, was a big win for me. Because like I had also done like little light acting when I was in high school, and I never got a credit for it. Because I never, like I don't know if it just, they didn't air my stuff or we didn't do the paperwork right, whatever it was.
Right.
I felt like, okay, that was a goal of mine. Like, I want to get my credits up. I want to, be recognized in this space, like in this field. So, being told, okay, yeah, for your footage on the Black Geek documentary, you got your credit. It was like crazy. And that's just for me. You know, I know other people might look at that and be like, whatever.
Right, yeah.
On credit. It's the start, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's your beginning to let people know, okay, I'm serious. And I also think, like, to me, like, even being able to associate with Geekset was a big deal for me, because it's like, I go from independent world, build your own shop, spend all your own money, do your own thing, watch it grow. You know, you work with other people who, to me, are independent contractors who do their own thing. Mm-hmm. But I'm also still a sports guy. I'm still a team player. Right. You know, Army guy, team guy, the whole way. So having backup was bigger, because it was like, you know, I want to catch some footage. I want to do something. Instead of you just saying it, you got a team to help you bring those things to reality. And also being able to be there for guys who are on the same thing. Right, yeah. Like, you know, we're not just going around filming talking crazy. Like, a lot of stuff is, you know, brought by a plan. And it was like, okay. Yeah. I like that part, you know. That was a win as far as chasing the dream of production.
Yeah, I think it definitely makes it easier. Like I said at times too, like I feel with Geekset in general, like I just think even what we're doing as a whole, being able to create this space for people to come in, and you have that support group already, and it's like, I think this is a creative space, so you got to come in, and we expect you to just be as creative. Everyone's going to be here to do, and the sky is really the limit when you think about it like that.
Just having guys that say yes, you know. Yeah. Instead of like, because that's my thing too. Like I also came from a very street background, where if it wasn't street, they wasn't really trying to hear you. Like, you ain't trying to gamble, you ain't trying to go do this, you're trying to do that. It's like, nah, bro, I want to take pictures. You can't take pictures in the ghetto. There's no video in the ghetto. So being able to come up from that world, and like, and what's funny is I also feel like I influenced some of my people from that world. Now they like, I want to have a podcast. Yeah. I want you to do my video. And I'm just like, that's crazy. Yeah, you know? I think that's always a good thing. I mean, it's really when you can start moving any more of an authentic self. The real friends are the people that actually acknowledge that and want to find their way as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think that's something that's cherished, that we overlook. Yeah, really. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So of course, after the big wins, we got to talk about any of the hurdles you may have faced. So I mean, in this experience of entrepreneurship and actually changing into, you know, reaching into a new venture, like what have been some of the hurdles you think that you faced during this time? I think when it comes to those hurdles, like a lot of the hurdles I feel like too I face, I really try to look at them more just like opportunities, not necessarily, you know, it's something that is gonna catch me up, but it's something that I can grow from. Okay. So like starting off, like not being the most technical guy with camera work or lighting, you know what I'm saying? Like it just took me a little time to grow into that, of like recording video, of figuring out, you know, how like a lot of the different aspects of it. Like, and that's it, like focal lengths and all that, and bright, I mean, and exposure.
All the words.
All the words. Like I'm familiar with them, and I was familiar with them, like I say, from like being younger, but it's not like how it is now, where technology is taking over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the hurdles. I think another hurdle would just be like time. You know what I'm saying? Like being a barber, you know, working a certain amount of hours, having family, because I got 4 kids, a wife, a dog. Like all that stuff.
Out here going crazy.
Yeah, all that
stuff. Out here going crazy.
Like,
I got to clap now. I have to. Sorry.
Thank you, bro.
It's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot.
And it is. And that's the thing. It's a lot. It's a lot to try to handle and stay creative and stay working. So,
right.
You know, that was always my thing, is like, as long as I stay motivated, or even if I felt like, oh man, I ain't recorded in a month. Hey, it don't matter. Because people still come to me and be like, bro, what you got going on next?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they know, like, it's a process. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was another thing too. Learning production is a process. It's not, oh yeah, you're gonna produce some shit every day.
Right. Like it's steps and steps. It's more steps than it is.
It's more steps, and then the better you get, the more you expect from yourself. So that even makes the process even slower sometimes. Mm-hmm. Because the same stuff that you would have dealt with when you first started, you like, nah, I ain't even gonna deal with that. I need a new lens, I need a new camera, I need whatever I need. I definitely need it now, because I don't want to produce the same stuff that I've been producing. use.
Right, you've leveled up, so the equipment gotta level
Gotta
up.
level.
You know what I'm saying? Just like an RPG.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, so out of that though, out of these, do you have a story of your own that you can consider that was a really good learning lesson, from just being in this experience now?
Yeah, I think so. It might have been like one of my first photo shoots where I was doing it for a person who had like a hair business, and I was so caught up in like trying to make the photo shoot like professional as possible, but like kind of like the mall. Like, you know how the mall photographer is?
Okay, the one that's
camera on the tripod, no mood.
Real glamour shot.
Real glamour shot is, right? And then, like, maybe, like, almost to the end, you know, my spirit was like, man, just take the camera off the tripod, bro. And give them what you think they want. And literally, I probably had, like, 50 shots in a stationary position, all real professional looking, look really nice or whatever to me, especially after I edited them and whatnot. But all the photos that I took, just free-handed, trying something, which was only like 15, he wanted all.
Oh, those instead?
All of them. He took all the other, you know. He just,
Yeah.
Hey, but he was like, man, I really like this one. Can you do some of these? And I'm like, each one was the one that I was like, damn.
I thought you was like,
you know, I could have. I didn't even have to waste all this other time moving them around and doing this. I could have just gotten this shot the way I wanted to get the shot.
And now, so that was like your initial thought process at first, but then you, like you said, you were trying to do
what I thought
professional stuff.
What I thought would be the right thing to do for that particular situation. But then it taught me a lesson of like, you are your own professional. So it's the same as cutting hair. Like, you create your routine, you create the system in which you do what you do for your client, because it's an experience. It's not just a haircut.
Right.
And it's the same thing with the photography or the videography. It's an experience. Like, you know, that's why when we go places, like, I dress out. Like, I try to have, you know, my glasses, my chain, you know, because it's also me.
Yeah.
I want people to kind of understand both sides. It's like, you can be as professional as you want and still be trash.
Yeah, as a person.
As a person, as whatever you're doing. Or you could be comfortable and be great at what you're supposed to be doing, as long as it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go out in pajamas or nothing.
Right.
But I feel if I get suited and booted and I put my glasses on, my chains, whatever else on, I'm going to still look nice.
You can put that shit on.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put it on and I'm going to do my best.
Yeah.
Because now I'm comfortable. You know what I mean? Right. And so that was like the eye-opener. So that's when I started wearing the Cardis out. That's when I started dressing the way I want to dress to a photo shoot, but I'm putting out great work and I'm doing it my way.
I see what you're saying.
That was the thing. It was like,
so it kind of enveloped as in like the brand of you, in a sense. Like, this is the look. This is the, you know what I'm saying? You coming at niggas with the broke ass nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
broke ass niggas.
Milwaukee love. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you hired me, so I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you
everything you want. I'm gonna just do it in a way that you'll be like, bros out here. You see him? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
I like that. I mean, and I think that's a really good lesson. Cause it's just more a lesson on being authentic. Like I said, it sounds like you were, which I feel like we all get caught up in that when you're just trying to follow what you think everybody else is doing until you realize I
was a mall worker, man.
Just be yourself. Yeah,
I was a mall worker for sure that day. And don't get me wrong, like I said, they enjoyed it, but I know it was, you know, it could have been better.
Right.
So I always felt like that was the thing. Like, I don't ever want to feel like I wish I could rebook them and do it different. Nope, I'm gonna do it.
You're just gonna do it.
Do it right the first time.
Okay, I like that. Okay. So in this process, would you say so? Like I said, we're talking about your barbering, and you know, at one point you said that was kind of given to you and put in your lap, where it's like, this can be a really good goal and end goal for me, whatever. Then now we're here, where that's just running smoothly, and now we're starting a new venture. Where do you see your end goal, or what do you see in a 5 or 10-year plan going for what in this field now?
I just see more probably collaborating, but I'm more just, mixing the both up. So probably having a studio, but also still having area for salon and barbering, but just having a bigger studio space. At my last spot, I did have studio space. We did have more room. Unfortunately, we had to leave and move here, and it is more like a suite building, or suites. So I think that would be my thing. It's probably getting more commercial space to create, to do the things that I want to do, or allow people to film or do photography or whatever they want to do, but just have that space.
So do you feel like you have, if you had to say one goal, like I said, like the getting a credit was a goal. You know what I'm saying? So if you had to say, like, within 5-10 years, even if I don't know it happened, but it just kind of happens to me, is there any kind of new goal that you have set for yourself?
Yeah, I do. I said I want to achieve another credit, obviously, but then I also want to get that space back.
So it's the space. You think you really?
I definitely want that space back. I definitely want that freedom to create, to have, so many ideas and not be able to just like do it. That's what's driving me crazy. So I want that back.
Okay, I can see that you feel cramped.
Yeah, a little bit, Because like the studio space that I have here, like I can create the music, I can podcast, but when it comes to like skits, movie reviews, somewhere, before I had actual space to have a backdrop and green screen and all that, it just I really need that back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's probably my only goal in the next 5 years.
Okay, I can see that. Okay. And then, finally, before we get you out of here, I always ask everybody, especially someone who jumps brand new into a field, what advice do you have for people who may be still scared or, just on the fence about even jumping into videography or photography or even jumping into barbering? You said, like, we have a lot of people who, like you said, you've been cutting hair for 8 years before actually getting your own business. So if someone advice you would maybe want to get someone who may be on the fence of never getting their own shop.
I'd say, because I know a lot of the people that I've either spoken to or mentored in the years of barbering that became barbers or stylists, a lot of them I tell to get over the fear. Because the fear of those achieving those goals, all that is optional. A lot of that goes with the doubt or what somebody else did or what somebody else didn't do. I think at the moment you get over a fear of yourself, you'll be able to achieve any of those goals in all of those fields. Because, like I think I've told you this before, I had to get over wanting to be in front of the camera and wanting to be behind the camera. I wanted to see the creation of things and, film that for other people.
Right.
And that's what, drove my passion to grow in the videography world, because it was like, I never once, like I said with barbering, I never told people I wanted to own a barbershop. Fresh out of high school, I wanted to be a firefighter.
Fresh out of high school,
firefighter. I just used to cut hair to compete with the other guys that cut hair.
Okay, so just to kind of keep your name out there in a sense.
That's it. Like football players cut hair. I was a basketball player. I cut hair. I'm better than you. This all started with that. It all started with I'm better than you. So when I became, a professional, the first thing they taught us was don't compete with them. Compete with you. So never ever look, like I always tell my other clients, my other barbers and stylists, take pictures of your work. Take pictures of work whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Because that video or that photo is record for you to study to be better the next time. Because I did that for my first 3 or 4 years owning the shop. I took pictures of everybody's haircut. Everybody's haircut. Like I still got pictures from when I was at the last few shops or whatever, taking pictures of people. But it was so that I could study it and say, okay, next time that fade got to be a little higher. Next time these corners got to be a little sharper. And I think I could cut it a little lower. I think I could have did this. So that when I come in, that's what I do. It's the same with the video. Every time I was doing like I did a couple music videos for my guy Chuck, right? Well, for Chuck.
For Chuck, yeah.
And every time that I did a video, it got better. But then I started realizing my lighting ain't the best. So let me go back and study lighting. Okay, my transitions aren't the best. So let me go back and study how to improve them. But then in those particular ways that I was messing up at. Mm-hmm. So now when I do videos or I record, or even when I'm shooting, I'm more prepared because I'm learning from myself. And I'm not afraid to go back and critique myself.
Right.
And be like, okay, well, this is what I did, and I feel like it could have been better this way. Okay, so next time when you hold the camera, rotate to the left, make sure when you pick it up, rotate to the left. Like, you know, so it's a continuous shot, but it also makes sense to me now why people do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is, man. It was growing through what you don't think is the mistake.
Right, okay, I get the growing through what you don't think is actually a mistake. So it's really that, changing your way of thinking.
That's it.
That you're just really doing stuff. And then you learn from
everything. You commit to it.
Yeah, you commit to it.
And I think in this world now where we got YouTube, we have books galore. Like all the information that you would go to college and somebody would talk you through it, you can go read it and interpret it for yourself.
Right.
You know, because that's all it is. Their job is to interpret that information for you. And they try to give it to you and test you. Well, if you're willing to sit down and study that information and test yourself, you can grow in that field. So that's the reality. Like, you know, if I had to tell somebody, hey man, you just starting out and you really don't know, go find out. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid to go find out. Just don't never stop learning. Because the reality is you never get better if you cut yourself off at the beginning. You know, if I only know how to do clipper haircuts, I never learn how to do razor. If I never learn how to do both, then I can never learn how to do a beard shave. Mm-hmm. And that's where the money is at. Once you know everything.
Makes sense.
You know.
Spoken like a true self-taught entrepreneur.
I do, baby. As you know, that's. I think that was like part of what helped me understand that I wasn't built for the private sector. You know what I mean? Like, knowing that I can learn at a pace that, okay, I don't need a manager.
Right.
Because I can figure it out.
Right.
So, don't ever, man, nobody, never let nobody tell you, oh, no, you don't need to, or you just don't do that. No, do it. Just be committed to it.
Just be committed to it. Okay. I like that. That was really good words. Okay, well, I mean, we about to wrap this up. So, can you let everybody know where they can find you at, of course?
You can find me, it's crazy because it's not all the same.
Oh,
you can find me on Instagram at King Media Group, or you can find my personal page at Ep.4. I'm also on Facebook at King MJ Pinister. And Twitter, I think it's the same, King MJ, or King Beef.
King Beef?
King Beef.
Okay. Yeah, you really all over the place.
Oh, yeah. It was all started at different times, so that's how it chops up. But yeah, you can find me out there, or you can find me on YouTube, also at King Media Group. Yeah.
Okay. And you can find me, Bacardi Sensei, on Instagram. And this is episode 4 of Geeked, and we are out of here. Catch you guys later.
Like 100 shots for a hater fist of the north side. Got a whole team of extraordinaries, we ready?
Yeah. I might be nerdy, but watch me spin your block, cause I'm thuggin', homie. Call me Tanjiro of that ghetto, I keep that demon on. Got 3 girlfriends, understand they do the killing for me. Main girl, got a hand up pearl, that full metal show. You already know, you said you won't smoke, don't just blow and choke, we heavy, bro. Come and reap his soul, like I'm Ichigo. Vicious flow, I guess our son, these niggas call me Piccolo. Do them dirty, shoot these guns, like I'm Luffy, hell quick as a flash. Play grown-man games, you in a body bag, shit rough around my hood. Live or die, United States of smack. Comes at you fast, your folks ain't care till I put on the mask. You want it in my blood war, my nigga, we gon' end this fast.
Hit him with that one punch like 100 shots for a hater fist of the north.